Dr. Vishal Punjabi, Dr. Sancheta Kohli, Dr. Sneha Bignani, and Dr. Budaita Verma.
Ajit Shetty, please.
If we can have Dr. Ajit Shetty, Dr. K.S. Banga,
Dr. Banga, as jury for this PG.
and Dr. Jitu Nagda.
Dr. Jitu Bhai, please.
If we can have them as a jury for this PG competition.
Jitu Bhai, we make everybody work for dinner. there, with the jury table.
There are two guys there. At least we are saved.
Okay, the same rule holds. Name first, introduction first, and then the question. Yeah.
Good evening to all of good evening to all of. I am Dr. Pawan. I'm a periodontist. I'm come from Hyderabad.
So, being a periodontist, I'm sure you love gum. If you love gum, you don't love Khushi, by logic.
Who's Khushi?
Now, supposing you have a patient who is telling you that I don't like my gums, what is your advice?
Advise him. It won't happens because the gum is necessary for the supporting your tooth.
That's answer you give. Okay. For the jury, yeah. Why don't you come here, right in the center of the stage, please? Come, all of you here. Yeah. Well, the jury needs to see you as well. That was Pawan Kumar.
Very good evening. Very good evening to one and all. My name is Dr. Vishal Punjabi, and I am a second year PG in the subject of oral maxillofacial pathology, and I am studying at MGM Dental College, and it's amazing to be here. Thank you, sir.
In oral path, and you got one more year to go. And just as a query, you already have started your dissertation. What's it on?
It is basically a study where I am comparing two fluorescent dyes to detect Candida species in oral squamous cell carcinoma patients.
Where do you see the end point of your research?
The end point of my research is basically the association between the fungal species, that is the Candida species which I am seeing, trying to find out a better dye, the fluorescent dye which is there. So to understand which one will be the better dye. Ultimately, the end point is that I want to publish it in a reputed journal, so because it spreads more awareness, basically how to detect these Candida species, because recently there is a big stir up that fungal species are seen in case of oral squamous cell carcinoma. But why? They are seen basically, they play a role even in the protection as well as the progression of the disease.
Thank you. तालियां को क्या हो गया भाई? तालियां क्यों? थोड़ी देर और बजाते रहिए, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Sancheta Kohli. I hail from the city of New Delhi, and I've recently completed my MDS in oral maxillofacial surgery this year from Maulana Azad Institute of Dental Sciences.
You finished your oral surgery, so you obviously would have your sights upon intensive surgery. You perform a surgery, the patient comes back and says he has to pay. He hasn't yet paid you. The patient has to pay. Comes back and says,
I usually communicate with the patient's attendant for the payment, and but we actually have because I work in a government setup, so we actually have the protocol of making the patient pay prior to the surgery. So I've never really encountered that problem, but it's an interesting one. I am trying to
just to clarify, my was nothing to do with payment.
Hello everybody, good evening. I'm Dr. Sneha Menghani and I'm from Maulana Azad Institute of Dental. First of all, sincere apologies, I'm not in the best of health today. I was honored and it was such a great honor. I had to be here. I got married 10 days back and I think the wedding took a toll on my voice, and since then it's been this harsh. I'm a BDS from Maulana Institute of Dental and I've done MDS in prosthodontics, crown and bridge from college.
Is your husband in the hall? Where are you? Okay. Good luck to you. Your answer comes here. Is he a dentist too? He is an emergency specialist. God forbid you have an emergency when you're working on a patient, and he is available, but he's not as good as another one who is very good but is not available. Would you wait for him? Yes. So would you wait for the one who is good and not available, or the one who is available and not good?
Well, I think I've done BLS, ECLS myself, so I don't need anybody to manage that emergency. So, but yes, obviously, if the person who's the best obviously gets to treat the patient, so obviously I won't wait for him, but somebody who's here will, see my.
Being an emergency, you better get in somebody who would.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Mudita Verma. I finished my graduation from Manipal College and post-graduation in conservative dentistry and endodontics from VS College, Bangalore. I'm basically from Gurgaon, so now I've moved back for good.
Do you believe in life after death? No, you don't. Which means that once the root canal is done, the tooth is dead. Right? Supposing there is a possibility that there is a science available which will re-innovate a tooth, would you like to study and know more about it, or are you very happy doing root canal and doing the next step?
So this is very much what is happening right now. In fact, I have done a study on this. So this revascularization, this whole major turnaround in endodontics that's going around of rejuvenating the tooth and revascularizing and innovation. So I would always be pro it, because even as an endodontist, and when I'm talking to my patient and explaining them about the root canal, I always tell them, this will be like our last go-to. I would not do it unless there is nothing else we can try to save your tooth. So I would always be pro for revascularizing and rejuvenating, but definitely I'm an endodontist, bread and butter, so root canal is the way to go.
Stupid question. I'm just auxiliary. You don't need to mark around that. Being an endodontist, if you have an option between a root canal and a non-salvageability and an implant, where?
So honestly, I would go for root canal. At least you can have your tooth for a few years, and then implant is always the option. You can always fall back on implant.